Acapulco, Mexico. This is Anarchast.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Anarchast, your home for anarchy on the internet, coming in from Miami, Florida. I'm here just for a few hours actually, and I managed to hook up with one of the top people on Steemit. This is like the first time two Steemit people have been in person on camera before that didn't know each other before, I think. It's Heidi of Heidi Travels. If you check it out on Steemit, she travels all over the place. She's recently been in Tahiti, she's been in Peru, the Amazon rainforest. She's just on her way actually in the next couple days to Africa to swim with great white sharks and skydive, I believe. Maybe not at the same time. And she's actually got on Steemit a great channel, and she's been making a lot of money. I saw one post at over $10,000.
Yeah, that blew my mind.
And so you're living the Steem life right now. So I wanted to talk to you about that, talk to you about some of your travels, because you're such an interesting person that you're doing all that. But before we get started, I got to check your street cred and ask you, how did you become an anarchist?
I guess you could consider it somewhat recently. About 2 years ago, I watched the Truth of 9/11 video, and that really opened my eyes and piqued my curiosity. So I did some more research, learned more about the background of government and the people who are really in power and the most wealthy people in the world and what their motives are. And so I haven't really been in a position to
talk too much deeply about the philosophy. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. So some of my new friends have been educated me about how everything really works, and it's really interesting to learn more about that.
Yeah, very interesting. A lot of people still haven't woken up to all that stuff, obviously. I think you were just saying you're on your Uber ride over here and you're trying to talk to the Uber driver about 9/11.
Yeah, it's funny how when two people, anarchists, are in the same room, sometimes they like to test the waters and see, they ask certain questions and see how you react to it, and then they kind of move a little deeper. So started talking about GMOs and Monsanto and the government and cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. So it was a really interesting ride. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Steemit. When did you first find out about it? I know you were on there well before I was, and like I said, many of your posts had like $8,000, $10,000. You've been doing really well. So when did you first find out about Steemit, and tell us how it all got started?
It was, I believe, just after 4th of July, so about a month ago, or more
almost
than
2 months.
Sorry,
time flies. I don't know what day it is either. No idea.
Yeah, I was a friend of mine who first told me about Bitcoin, and then I did pretty well with Bitcoin, getting into that. It was around like $200 when I first got into it, and then I learned about Ethereum pretty well, and that was successful. And then he brought up this thing called Steemit, so I was like, all right. I trust his judgment, so I did like an intro post. I didn't have really any expectations or anything, and just thought I'd write a little bit about myself. And it I didn't believe it was real. I was like, okay, that's not really how much it's worth, you know.
I think your intro post, if I remember, was around $200.
Yeah.
And then the next one was like $300 or something. Then it was like $8,000, $10,000. So you must have been like, whoa.
Yeah. When I first transferred it to Poloniex or Bittrex, I can't remember which one maybe it was Bittrex, and then it's like, I just got 5 Bitcoin. Oh, all right. What else could I write about? You know, and
it gets you writing.
Yeah,
that's for sure. I was the same way. I make quite a bit of money doing what I'm doing. I'm really busy, but yeah, just posting $15,000. I should do this every day.
Yeah, I mean, I've had like laborious jobs before too. So for me to make money like that fast, I felt almost guilty about it, but. So that really motivates me to try and give like the best content that I can.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like I try to make sure everything I post is like really, really good, because I feel like obligated, like you said, like if I'm going to make really good money from it, I should really do a really amazing job.
Yeah.
So it's actually improved. Even the Dollar Vigilante writing, like the blogs, that they've gotten better, because I'm like, I'm going to put this on Steemit too, and it's going to make like $3,000 or $4,000. So I better like really make sure this is really good. So it's really cool how it works. And I know that you have heard about all these people talking about Steemit. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a scam.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, the proof is where I'm going to Africa. That I never would have thought that would happen in the same year that I went to Tahiti. I thought Tahiti would be the last trip I did, really.
In your life?
Not, well, for a very long time, because, well, it's Tahiti, so I didn't stay in a resort or anything, but just the flight itself was very expensive. So my schedule at that time was, okay, work for my dad at the sign shop and save up as much as I can within like 4 months, like just slave away at that job, and then travel for a month, and then hopefully I can make more money again. So yeah, this Steemit's got money in my pocket that I can travel now, and so Steemit's really inspired me to do some kind of crazy things too, like you mentioned, the diving with sharks and skydiving. I never thought I would skydive. I would thought you'd have to like push me out of the plane, but yeah, now it's kind of sounding a lot more adventurous. But
yeah, you're going to be swimming with great white sharks in South Africa next week. It's interesting.
Going into cages. Yeah, it's apparently you just take a little drive down to the spot, and they'll stick you in a cage and they'll start chumming the waters. And yeah, great whites are going to show
Yeah, you
up,
told me an interesting story last night about how your mom's like into Ethereum.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. I've never heard anyone say my mom's into Ethereum. So that's cool.
Yeah. She saw how I was able to shoot. Oh, all of a sudden you're going to, Tahiti and Portugal. It was from the little bit of the profit that I made off of Ethereum, and they've had some money saved up in their savings account, hoping, it's just sitting there, right? So I was talking to them like, you should have your money work for you because it's amazing. And it's like, there's this thing called Ethereum. It's at like $10 right now. So, let me help you work with your money a little bit. And so every so often she'll call me and say, hey, what's Ethereum up to? Because she doesn't, yeah. So it's kind of
That's funny to get a call from your mom. What's Ethereum up to?
Yeah.
That's great. These things are really spreading, I've found.
Yeah.
Even my own mom, as I was telling you last night, she passes by every now and then. I'm watching YouTube videos about every possible conspiracy you can imagine, and most of them are real, like the dead real, 9/11. Like if anyone out there doesn't know, and there's a few still, it's unbelievable. I feel ashamed, or I feel bad for them that they're actually saying in public that it was not an inside job. Like they just look like fools. Like, do you not even look into anything at all? Or are you just like a moron who watches mainstream media programming?
Yeah.
So my mom's walking by and I'm watching all kinds of stuff. And every time, or not walking by, she's in a wheelchair, rolling by. And she said to me just last week, she said she saw some video and it was pretty extreme, but I think it was true as well. And she said to me, is that true? And I said, I think it is. And she said, there's so much truth coming out now. So my mom's saying that, like she's like, and she said, I can't believe all that stuff they taught us in school. Most of it was lies about what happened. And I was like, yeah, it's crazy, it's horrible. But she's like, that's good that all this is coming out now. Yeah. So my mom said that, your mom's into Ethereum. So things are really changing.
Yeah, I mean, with the internet, and now also with like the time limit of these government documents that are being released, you can look at legit websites with the government, and it is their information. You can't deny that. So, yeah, I think just people who take the time to actually do the research, like you said, don't just watch Fox News or just get it fed to them.
Hardly anyone really watches mainstream media anymore, but some people still think if it's not on CNN, then it's not real. When it's actually the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Like everything on CNN is pretty much propaganda or fake, or at least massively skewed.
Yeah.
And they've been shown to fake so many things already. They faked the Gulf War thing with that guy. That was a hilarious video. I don't know if you ever saw that. You're probably too young.
The war footage, or the
one where he's acting like he's in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And then they show, and it's a green screen. They're all laughing like, the sheep.
Do I need a gas mask now? I don't know.
Pour the gas mask. And then they're all laughing about it. Oh man, it's just fake, And people are starting to wake up to it, so it's great. And I think Steemit could, if it survives for a few more years at least, and I think I actually have a good feeling it will.
Yeah.
I still don't understand the currency aspect enough to know if it is sustainable.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing so many things just going crazy on Steemit lately, and it really, it's really interesting because, like you said, it makes you make the best content, right? So you wouldn't have gone to South Africa and swam with sharks just to put up a post on Steemit in the past, right?
Yeah.
And even myself, I'm putting out better stuff now. And Larkin Rose, for example, great anarchist author and one of the best guys in the whole anarchist movement. He's like, oh yeah, I'm like working on my articles every day, and he wasn't doing that before, right? So I think it's going to push people to create better and better content. And as that content gets better and better, and it's not just in the fields of anarchy or in travel, it'll get into every field. You'll see like the best content. Like everyone will go to steemit.com every day and go, do you see this article? That was amazing.
Yeah.
So I could see the site itself, Steemit, become massive within months or at most a year or so.
Yeah, especially now that like more reputable people are, becoming involved in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you saying I'm not reputable? Are you not reputable?
Oh, I'm absolutely reputable. I'm from the Midwest. I'm totally genuine.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. There's like bigger names coming on all the time, and I think it's just a matter of time before everyone's on there. Like, why wouldn't you be on there?
Yeah.
As long as it lasts, as long as you can make money, and actually, if you want, take the money out. Why wouldn't everyone get on it?
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
That's what I'm looking forward to most, is when Steem is able to be spent. Like Bitcoin is more accessible, because I feel so guilty trading in Steem for other currencies. Like I just want to utilize Steem, and keep that going in the system rather than like filtering it out. And
I know there's so many developers working on that right now. Someone just put out one, so you can actually accept Steem on your site. I'm going to start accepting it for our products.
Very cool.
And actually, one of my big web guys is actually working with the Steem guys to integrate it, so you can actually put, for example, I have a blog at $1vigilante.com. They're actually going to integrate it, so I can actually post on $1vigilante.com and post my blog, but it actually posts to the Steem blockchain, but it shows up on $1vigilante.com. I can just filter out, I just want it to show my articles, right?
Okay.
So my site all of a sudden could essentially be a Steem-backed site.
Gotcha.
And then when people hit like, they make some money, I make some money.
Very cool.
So why wouldn't every website in the world do that? And this is all being built right now. So it's going to be really interesting to see how it develops.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So lots of great stuff happening there. Really interesting stuff. I know you're enjoying it.
Yeah. Turn my life around, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's really amazing story. What were you doing before you were a Steem superstar?
I learned how to. I was trying to figure out how to get out of. I went to college for English, and so I really enjoy writing, and travel is a new aspect to my life. I left the country for the first time in 2015, so early 2015. So I was kind of hooked after that. Like, okay, how can I keep this going? And I knew having a job, being like a digital nomad, is the way to go. So I learned how to code a little bit and built my own website. And because my other passions besides writing and traveling are like eating really healthy. I love to cook. Being Greek, I think, has a huge part of that. Always being involved in the kitchen and laughing and good memories in the kitchen. So my website's kind of based on that, and also like essential oils and just really natural healthcare to keep from being exposed to chemicals, and just trying to keep my hormone levels as equal as possible. So that sparked me into wanting to learn more, and then cryptocurrencies came into it, so it's all kind of really digitally focused. So Steemit kind of played right in there, and I was like, oh, it's my holy grail. So yeah, it's like definitely, I love that Steemit is like my job right now, so that's great.
Yeah, I actually felt the same way. Like it was almost like a holy grail for me too, because I'm very well known in the cryptocurrency community. I'm also very well known in the Liberty movement. And those are the two biggest things that are on Steem right now. So as soon as I went on, everyone there is already like, oh, I already know who he is, right? And so I love to write. Actually, that's one of my passions, is writing. But I haven't felt passionate about it in a while, because I'm every day I'm just writing about horrible things happening in the economy and the war and all this sort of stuff. But I actually enjoy writing about other things. So when I saw Steem and I got on there, for me it was like kind of the same thing. Like, this is, yes, I've been waiting my whole life for this. I can actually put out like some really cool writing, and I'll make some money, and it'd be great.
It's and Steemit too, it's like a utility way of, I don't know, like being more active with the Anarchist, and like not just like talking about it, but like having a community of people and figuring out how you can change things or do things differently. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm curious because most of the people on the site right now are pretty much anarchists or definitely liberty-minded. There seems to be a few that aren't, but most people who are so far are like that. I'm curious to see when like the conservative kind of people and the liberal kind of people, the people who like Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump, when they get on there, to see how they're accepted on the site and how that develops, because it'll be really interesting because it'll actually they have so much crap to say that's just garbage.
Yeah.
And we're actually saying the really good stuff. So let's see how their stuff stands up in a free market. Let's see who gets the most votes.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting to see. And of course, the thing with anarchist stuff is we get blocked on Facebook and Google and YouTube all the time. Like Luke Radowski on Facebook, and Dan Dix, no one sees their stuff. They're just they're blacklisted basically. And you can't do that on Steem. And so it'll be really interesting to see how it all works and how competitive we are with the other philosophies when it's a total free market.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting.
Yeah, for people who, like you said, the super liberals or conservatives, they're mostly exposed to their own people. So for them to kind of dive into the world and see all these different perspectives and information, maybe it'll help open their eyes too. So
yeah, absolutely. It's going to be really interesting. It's definitely fascinating.
Yeah.
So if you have anything else you want to talk about, go ahead. If not, why don't you let people know about where to find you on Steemit and anything else you want to let people know?
Yeah. My URL for Steemit is www.steemit.com/@Heidi Travels, HEIDI TRAVELS, if you're not a good speller.
Well, you went to probably government school, so it's not your fault.
I'm in a spelling bee right now, yeah. I also have another website if you want to learn about some healthy recipes that I've kind of formed on my own, and learning how to work with essential oils for all different kinds of. I've been dealing with acne for like my whole life, so just trying to find natural solutions for that, and anti-aging, and rashes, bug bites, all that stuff. It's www.fountainofbeauty.org, and learn a little bit about me there too. So
that's great. Are you going to post more of that stuff on Steemit as well, or are you going to stick to just the
travel? I need to focus. I actually posted one recipe for I love Greek style potatoes, and that one made I think 12 cents. But so I kind of got off the whole food thing. But yeah, definitely I'll be doing more of the healthy things, and also more travel tips, and when you're traveling alone as a female, just ways to keep yourself safe and save money and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's another thing we didn't really mention about a woman who travels a lot. It's a lot of women out there are kind of scared to travel.
Yeah.
And you're really showing it's not that scary, is it?
It's not. I just went to Peru, and I go to lonelyplanet.com and see the security warnings of Lima, and they're all pickpockets and stuff like that. And I get to Lima, and I'm like, that's how it always is. You read the securities, and it freaks you out, and you're kind of nervous, and then you're there, and it's like, okay,
it's fine.
Not every single person out here is a pickpocket. It's like I'm not an idiot. So just being smart about not counting your money out in public, and having your bags hanging them off. That's just common sense. So definitely just have your wits about you. And being a female, I guess it's partly being, sexual predators and stuff like that. But I'm definitely encountered far more friendly people traveling than I have nasty people. So. Oh,
absolutely. Yeah, I agree. And last night after we left, I walked around a little bit around here. That was sketchy as hell. I was like, I better get back to my hotel.
Yeah.
This looks sketchy, and a lot of weird people.
Yeah.
And so to me, the U.S. and places like Miami are some of the more be careful if you go there kind of places. But if you go to Mexico or Peru in general, it's generally great.
Yeah, I hitchhiked in Tahiti because the day I landed, it was some holiday or something, so the bus service wasn't working, and so I knew I'd be hitchhiking, and it's 5 a.m. The sun is just rising, and I'm on the side of the road. Is this how I've never hitchhiked before? I'm I think this is how they do it. Yeah. And this guy, he was actually traveling in the other.
Uber, I guess.
No, fortunately. He was traveling in the other direction, and he turned around, and it was a guy in a small pickup, and I'm like, okay, Heidi, I don't have any Wi-Fi. Here goes nothing. And I he's super friendly. He only speaks French. The only French I know is
m'appelle Heidi.
Yeah, bonjour, comment allez-vous, you know, merci beaucoup. So we had like he didn't know much English, so I've gotten really good at charades, trying to explain things. And he drove me 45 minutes in the other direction, and he was like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't take you any further. I'm like, thank you so much for driving me. It was like an hour and a half drive total. And he was like, you know, if they're drinking, because if they're drinking, don't get in the car. He was like very worried for me, and people are like, oh, you're very lucky you were safe in Tahiti. I'm like, I would never hitchhike in the U.S. like just because, I don't know, like there are like nasty people, let alone I don't think anyone would really pick me up. So
they definitely wouldn't drive you 45 minutes in the
out of
other
their way,
direction
exactly.
and like tell you to be careful and all that. Well, I'm sure there is a few people who do that, but in general, no. And you find that in a lot of these other countries, people are just so much more open and
they're not scared.
Yeah, they're not scared. That's the thing. And everyone here in the U.S. is scared. Like there was even just some thunder that went off just a few minutes ago, and I was looking around, and everyone looked like they were going to run.
Yeah.
It's like it's thunder.
Gunfire.
It did sound like a bomb.
Yeah.
But you know, if that happened anywhere outside of the U.S., people would be, even if it was a bomb, a lot of people would be like, huh, bomb. They wouldn't be like, should we run? Should we run? Like there's fear base here. It's in the land of the home of the brave, land of the free. Can't wait to get out of here, really. And I know you can't either.
Yeah, I'm going to Africa. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on. We'll
Thank
put
you
this
for
up on
having me.
Steemit, and maybe we'll figure out a way we can share the revenues of whatever the post
definitely.
is. And check me out on Steemit, steemit.com/@$vigilante. We'll have both those down below. Definitely check out Steemit. For, great content. For anarchists out there, it's actually the best website in the world right now for anarchist content. You get Larkin Rose every day. You got me on there. You got so many other anarchists on there producing really good content. So check it out. And as well, I think you're going to try to make it down to Anarchapulco. So I just want to mention Anarchapulco. It's coming up at the end of February. By the time you see this, we should have the official website up. It should be up by the end of the month, and I think this should be up around that time. So check that out. It's going to be amazing. And I'm looking forward to you doing some Steem posts from Anarchapulco and your experience there. So that'll be great. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe, share down below. And that's it for Anarchast, your home for anarchy on the internet. Peace, love, and anarchy.
From Acapulco, Mexico, this is Anarchast.